Hello, good afternoon, everybody. Coming live to you today here from Costa Rica. It's 4:30 in the afternoon. It's a very, very great day. Outside is raining a lot. If you haven't been here, that's what it usually happens. Rain, 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 rain by this time of the year. So today I want to talk about this thing that I think you can see here in this red line. I'm using a new platform, so it's really, really cool. So I hope you're looking at it. If you're joining me, or if you want to comment, or if you want to say something, I'm reading you in the comments. So please feel free to just leave any comments. And if you're watching the replay, then I'll read the comments as well because I will be checking. So anyway, up to the point today, I've been having this topic inside me all day, right? And it's just now that I can just come and talk about this that I wanted to talk about. So it's about feeling stuck. I don't know if you relate with the title. I know, as in, have you ever felt stuck? We'll have for sure felt stuck, as in feeling stuck in your head with an idea or a situation or something that has been happening, or also in your body, as in your health. Maybe you're struggling to keep a good habit that you have been trying to do to just feel better, to feel good about yourself, both in mind and body. So I really want to talk about this today because I've been having these conversations these days repeatedly, where I've been explaining to new people about what I do and about this. If you heard, I'm creating this Feel Good Academy. This is called Academy, like, because it's going to be a school, right? A place where you learn, that I will teach you. A doctor, which is me, will guide you through everything that you need to know to start feeling good in mind, body, and soul. And this is the point, the very important point today, that everything that we are in our health, in our well-being, it's not just the physical side of things. It's not a little pain. It's not maybe a gastritis, a little bit of colitis, or anything that is bothering you in the physical plane, to say it one way, but it's also what is bugging you and bothering you here in the emotional side of things. Everything that is very, very emotional, that has to do with emotions, that has to do with any worries that you have, are really going to have an impact and an influence in your physical side, right? So I don't know if this makes sense, but I have found myself explaining this a lot lately. And so I thought it's very, very important for me to come and explain this. Just let me check, because I don't see, just in case you're commenting or you're following along. I think is not. Anyway, I'll keep going just in case. Okay, I just touched something in here, so I'm gonna put it again. Yay! I don't know, but feel free to just say hello. So the important thing is that I wanted to say here is about how everything that we are is not just in our health, in our well-being, is not just the body, right? It's also what you think, what you feel when you're feeling some discomfort because you had an issue with someone, or you're feeling, some kind of disguise, or anything that is bugging your head will go and scream through the body, basically speaking. And it all goes back to basics. And I really want to keep insisting and saying and repeating this concept, because it's somehow is new for many, because I'm being surprised many times when I speak of the things that I believe, the things that I want to do, that I am doing as a doctor these days. And people are really, really, really surprised, as in, wow, that really, really makes sense. And that really is an interesting point of view. And I find it very, very fascinating and surprising that people think that this is surprising, because to me it's very basic, it's very essential. It's going back to everything that we knew about health and medicine and the human body in the very, very, very first place. So it's just going back to basics. All in all, is teaching you how, or showing you, or making the point for everyone on how it's so easy and so important to know your own body, how your body works, how your mind works, how much you know yourself in every single sense, in those, on those levels, both mind and body and emotions, because all of those things are tied together. They go hand in hand. They will never go separately, because that's why when you're worried, then you have a loose stomach, and then you need to run to the toilet, or maybe you have gastritis, or maybe you have reflux, because anxiety, for example, is tied up with anything that goes, straight into the stomach, into the nervous system, in our gut, in our digestive system, in our bowels. That's why it's common, and there is a medical explanation for that. There is a physiological explanation for that, right? So it ties in the same way that if you want to see it from the spiritual side of things, in the sense of spirituality, it ties up as well. It's very, very simple. It doesn't matter from which side you want to look at it. They both relate, they both explain the same thing, and this is what it's us, right? So with this sensation of feeling stuck, it's important to understand this simple thing, that is what I just mentioned, right? Because when you're feeling stuck, I wonder, you're feeling stuck because you have very bad habits, and you have been struggling to just make new ones and stick to them. Here, for example, this is something that is very, very common, and I've struggled with that. I sometimes still struggle with that, and it happens to everyone. It's very common, and sometimes when you master this habit making, you find yourself flowing into perfect habit making every day, and you feel good, right? You feel good because you're doing something that is good for your body. Your brain knows you're doing something that is good for your brain and for your body. So everything goes hand in hand, everything goes together. When you are trying to make this and you're not successful, you feel stuck, and you feel frustrated, and you feel like you're not being able to accomplish this thing, and that generates frustration here and anxiety, and then it will translate into the body. It's the same with every single thing. This is very simple, just like a basic example, but you can take it to far more complicated things, or more severe things, even though, even when there are more severe diagnoses, like cancer, like, just to mention, one that is very common these days. I wonder many times, and this is me just thinking out loud and philosophizing with all my scientific medical knowledge, and also my life experience knowledge. I wonder how all this massive disease that is happening so frequently these days, for example, like I said before, cancer, is related or has a really close connotation with everything that is emotional in our self-being, in our well-being. How much of this is genetic, of course, because there is genetic, that is absolutely true. We are not going to doubt about it at all, right? But there is an emotional side of sickness, of disease, that is there, that is simply there, that is a fact, that it happens, and that it makes us, eventually develop things in our body, in our physical body. So how much of, how worried does a person have to be, for how long and how many years, to suddenly develop some kind of illness that will attack, sometimes in the form of autoimmune disease, or in the way of cancer, or in the way of mental disease, or mental sickness, or a hormonal imbalance. That kind of thing is very, very common, is very frequent, is very normal, and it ties up, which to most people is surprising when they hear these things, or when you read about these things, because we usually these days don't think of health as something so related to the emotions, and yet it is now. It was 1,000 years ago, it was 2,000 years ago, it was in all the time. It has always been like this, and it will keep being like this. But sometimes we have lost a little bit of the full vision of health, because because of the way, humanity, technology, knowledge has evolved. So this is something very, very important to rescue, to see, to start thinking again, to explore again. And this is what I really, really want to convey with this message today. If you're feeling stuck because there is something that you're not being able to accomplish, whether it's a feeling, a situation with someone, so maybe the solution is talk. Maybe you need to talk. Maybe you need to address the issue with one person, with this person, not everybody else that is around you supporting you, but with the one person that the issue is with. That happens, I relate to that. I relate to that right now. You relate to that. Everybody relates to that because we've been all through similar experiences in one way or another, right? And if it's on the physical side of things, if it's the body, if you have an annoyance, pain in your knee, in your stomach, then what is it that happened today? Like doing a scan of your day, of your situations, of your circumstances today, your diet. What did you eat today? What did you eat even yesterday? That might be giving you symptoms today. Sorry, for example, maybe yesterday you went to the movies and you had fried food and a hot dog and Coke, and it was very, very late at night. And today you're feeling a little bit crap because that happens. And maybe you're feeling thirsty, very thirsty, with a little bit of a headache, and maybe your stomach is a little bit loose or even constipated. It depends. And it ties up. Just doing this self-scan will allow you to understand what happens, what is happening, and where is it coming from within your body, within your emotions, within your whole self, because we are a whole, we are an everything, right? That it's not just the physical. And I'm going to be talking about this so much more, being very insistent on it, because it is essential. It is essential to the way we feel on daily basis. It is the I don't know how to say it, but it is the basis. I'm repeating my words and a little bit, so I'm sorry because of that, because I'm just thinking as I'm speaking. But this is the basis to everything that you do on your day to day, on the way you feel every day. Just we want to feel good, right? And this is why I created this new Feel Good Academy, where you will learn all these things more and more from what I'm saying, from classes that I will be giving, from talks, courses, online courses, a lot of stuff that will come. I'm very excited about it, by the way. I'm really excited. All these videos is going to be free content that is going to be there for everyone to have access, because this is essential. This is important. This is important to me. I know it's important to the world, and the more I speak about it, the more it will get into your brain, into your head, and into your entire well-being. So you will be able to change little things and make little tweaks here and there every day, so you can start feeling better. Maybe it's fixing your morning breakfast routine. Maybe you don't have breakfast ever, and I used to do that for a long time until I realized, okay, I need to do something. I need to change. I need to improve, water drinking habits, more vegetables. Like, I didn't know we need, as human beings, at least 30 grams a day of fiber to make the bowel and the digestive tract just work normally and nicely and perfectly. So that, for example, is something basic that I learned after I went through my own process of healing my issues, my health issues. And healing my health issues led me to understand a lot of my mind, a lot of what I was doing, a lot of what I wasn't doing, like not scanning myself, not knowing myself enough. And it just really changed me. Even as a doctor, I'm talking, all this process started for me like 3-4 years ago. And I've been a doctor into the medical world since I began, like 16 years ago. So not being a doctor is not a certainty for having the perfect habit and the perfect health and the perfect mindset. But through time, through experiences, through openness, and through change, that is how we all get to improve and to feel good in this every sense that we are as simply human beings, right? I have the title, but all in all, we'll have this thing that is the same, that doesn't relate to you not being a doctor and me being a doctor, and it's the same. We all want to just feel good, right? So I hope this really helps, that gives some light. I feel like I needed to bring this message today about feeling stuck. Sometimes it's your mind, sometimes it's your health, as in the body. And the message is, it's all the same one thing. It's all one thing. Mind and body is the same thing. It's you. It's who you are. You need to know yourself better. You need to scan yourself every day, maybe in the mornings, maybe in the nights, maybe you keep a journal. I always recommend that to my patients all the time. Keeping a journal, what were you feeling? Maybe a discomfort in your stomach today. Maybe you didn't have enough water. Just write everything down at the end of the day. It works for me. It works better for me if I do it at the end of the day, because I make a little track of everything that I ate, somehow, of the water that I drank, of how much exercise I did, if any. And then I relate that to the sensations in my body. And in the span of 48 hours, there will be a very, very close relationship between what you eat, what you drink, what you did as physical activity, and the sensations you had in your body. So take note. I hope this really helps, and it helps you, especially to start understanding how this is so basic, and also how you can start taking control of your own health, and even heal yourself for the very, very basics. Eventually, if there's always medical stuff that needs to be addressed, you will have your doctor that will give you continuity and proper guidance in your local community. That is, that stays, that isn't changeable. But there are things that we can do at home, and this is what I am teaching you now, and all these days, that you can do at home, so you can stay in a good state of health, of well-being, before you have to run crazily and worry to the doctor. Because it makes no sense. We have to keep health instead of going running after it. It's just, it would make everyone's life easier, right? So I hope this helps. I hope you take a few notes, and feel free to go visit my YouTube channel, because it's already live. It's already on. I've been sharing lots of stuff, and I will be sharing a lot more. So youtube.com/Mariana Calleja, which is my name. I'll share it in the comments. And please just feel free to comment and send me messages if you need anything. I'm doing online consultations these days. So feel free to get in touch with me. Actually, just for the month of May, which is 10 days away to be finished, I'm giving an offer, which is 2 sessions for the price of 1. So if you're interested on working with me, if this resonates, if you have some doubt, if you have anything that you need to address or ask. So I hope you really take advantage of this offer, because it's really great. It's very priceless, and it's very on a good budget. It's very cheap. To consultations, online consultations with me for the price of 1. So anyway, that was just one last little message for everyone. Maybe it will be useful for you. So have a great afternoon. I'll see you soon, and I'll keep talking. So repeat after me. Today, I choose to feel good. Okay? Kisses. Take care. Bye. Here. Now. Bye.